What's up, my math concepts kiddos? I hope you've all been safe and healthy throughout this time. I know it's been really weird not to be in school consistently and to be home all the time and be quarantined. It's probably pretty scary with all the sickness going around, but I hope you're all just kind of sticking in there and I'm very happy that we're going to be rolling out here a way for you to stay connected to school and to stay fresh with some concepts that we've learned together. So without any further ado, I want to go over what we're going to do today. So I'm primarily going to load videos up that are going to teach you the lessons that you're going to go through in class. And the work that you can do can be a combination of either the written work, if you prefer paper and pencil, or you can actually complete it online. I'm going to give you a few resources and explain to you in different videos how to do that. So first thing that I want to do really quickly is go over graphing. That's going to be the first lesson we're going to go over here. We left off talking about slope, but I kind of want to revisit some of the previous concepts so that everything's not way too new on you guys. Since we can't really technically teach anything new to you while we're doing distance learning as of yet, we're mostly going to just be going back over and teaching things we've already taught in class, so nothing really new. So here's what we're going to do here first. I just want to give you a reminder about coordinate points and coordinate, like when you're writing coordinates, what does the order mean? How do I graph it? That was something I know we definitely struggled a little bit with to remember as we're going through slope. I know we got really good at it before the end of the semester when we were graphing, because a lot of you got that, if not all of you got those questions right. But just as a reminder, if we were to say the alphabet, you say your ABCs, you're going down the line, you get towards the end, and you get to X, Y, then Z, right? So X comes first before Y, and that's exactly how it's going to work in math. X comes before Y. And what you see there is called a set of coordinate points. Now the cool thing about coordinate points is they're supposed to show you a spot in space. Now we all live in space. It's not necessarily the type of space you think. You think of outer space usually, right? Even though planet Earth is technically a part of outer space. It's in the solar system. When we talk about space, we're just talking about physically what you'd call occupying space. You take up space. You exist within everything around you in the world and out of the world, right? So any location that you are in is technically a point in space. And so what people in math do is they use coordinate planes, like the one you see there with the arrows, which we've worked with before. We know those as graphs, right? We use those to show points in space based off of what we call a reference point. It's where you start. Now that starting point in math that we call the origin rests at 0, 0. You don't move anywhere. It's the start. You're there. We call that the origin point. That's where both x and y would be 0. It's right here in the middle of the plane. Now, when we start to figure out after we move a distance from that origin point, the way that you want to go is x, then y. Now, when we talk about the x point, we're talking about left to right. This here, I'm going to go ahead and put this in a different color for you guys. Let me go ahead and pop that on here. I'm going to put this in purple here. This is your x line, and this up here is your y line. Now the x goes left to right, the y goes up and down. Now, if you have a hard time remembering that, think about the first time you learned how to graph anything on a number line. When we start to do that, you definitely did number lines before you did these kinds of graphs. Now, the number line you had just went left or right, correct? So, if x comes first, that was the line that came first. They match each other. The left to right line is the x line. It's the x coordinate. It's the first number you see. When we look at the y line that one goes up and down, right? So, you know, even better than I think putting these both in the same thing here, what I'm going to do is just erase that guy real quick. I'm going to pop this guy over here in this kind of magenta pink color. Let's go ahead and do that. So here's my pen. I'm going to go ahead and put that here, and I'm going to call this guy my Y line. Here we are. Perfect. Now I'm going to use these colors here to go ahead and, in order, tell you an example of how I might graph something. Let's say that I have two. And before we get too far into this, why don't I do this real quick? They're not going to be straight lines. I could use the straight line tool. I don't need to right now. I'm going to show you that when we start connecting things into shapes. That's going to be a different lesson. Not today, we don't really need it. I just want to make sure every single one of us can get every question we are given correct before we move on. Look at this little program's complimenting my work, I guess, here. That's good enough for now. Cool. So let's say that we have this here. We got a 2, and then we've got, I'm going to put a comma there, and we've got something like maybe 3. Let's go with 2 and 3. Now I'm going to put my point in green here. 2, 3. Now 2 tells me that I need to go 2 on the x line. You see how x is here, 2 is here. Here's my x line. I'm going to go 2. Now here's 0, that's the middle. I found the second point, 2. Now before I put the point down, do not put the point down just yet. The next thing you do is look at the second point in the coordinates. That's going to be your y. Now the y in the magenta there says 3. So from where I am at the 2, I go 3. Now 3 is positive. Positive numbers go up. Negative numbers go down. So if I go up 3 from that point, I would be right here. I'm going to make that nice and big for you so you can really see it. And that there is your first point. I'm going to call that A. Now let's get into B. I'll give you one more example. You guys can do your work here. What happens if I do something like this and this? So I'll give you both examples at once. What happens if I get negative 4, 0? Well, when I look at this x line, the negative number should go on the left. When we're on a number line, negative goes left as 0, positives go right as 0. So I'm going to go left 4 from the 0 line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I have 0 as a coordinate, that means you do not move whatever letter that is. So since the 0 matches with the y there, you can see it in the magenta, that means don't move any amount for y, which leaves me on this line right here. So I'm just going to put the dot right on the line, and that is point B. So this graphing tool has shown you how to basically just graph the points you're given. Now what I'd like you to do, just to really help you get down the point of moving x and y amounts before we get into giving you examples with this, is to go to the link I'm going to give you for Desmos. Some of you may or may not have used Desmos before. I really like this tool. It's an online graphing calculator, basically. So it actually solves graphs for you that you're given. This one here, what I'm going to do is show you how to set this up. So actually, this one's already set up. There's a special other one that we can use, but for now, I think this is the best way to do it. You're going to go to this site. It's not going to have the label part checked for you. I want you to click label so you can see what it is. Now, I started mine at 0, 0 here. Yours won't start there, but basically what you want to do is go ahead and just start playing around with this toggle button right here. So let's say that I went this way. It's showing all the 0 things. This one's going to show you at 1, 2, -2, -4, and then I can go this way. Look at this, -3, -4. But what you're going to realize is that x1, or the x coordinate that you get, determines how much it goes, look at the dot, left to right. So x moves it this way. If the number is positive, here's 0. Here, if it's positive, it goes that way. If it's negative, it goes this way. And then for the y, let's say if x was 0. Why don't we do that? It's on the y line. Now if I got y, if it's 0, it's right in the middle there. That's our origin point. If it's positive, it goes up. If it's negative, it goes down. And you could really just play around with this just to see and really visualize and get it down for yourself that x goes left to right, y goes up and down. Now, when I look at this guy, I don't know that it's going to allow me. Well, let me do. Oh, it totally will. That's awesome. Look at this. I can even drag this around to look at how the numbers change when I move it certain directions. So you can even click on the dot and move it around. So your directions are that I want you to first just mess around with this for about 5 minutes. Play around with it, really visualize it, see what changing the different coordinate numbers does to the dot on the graph. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a list of some points, and I am going to give you I'm going to give you the option really of either using mathaids.com. I'm going to load a PDF up for you. And you can print it out if you have a printer at home and just do it, pen to paper. They should come with some coordinate grids there. Or what I'm going to do is send you the link to this AWW board here. And I'm going to be giving you the option of just graphing it on this whiteboard and just labeling them by the number, or maybe even put a letter on them. And what you can do is just show you really quick how I did all these things. If you want a straight line, all you've got to do is click this pencil icon on the left. You're going to click line arrow and just make straight lines here and here. If you wanted to make the dots, you just click the pen icon. I just made it a little thicker because it'll come out easier. And then I put the lines on myself. And you can even change the color if you like to color coordinate by clicking this little art palette right here. If you need to erase anything, you just click the eraser and you just go over it. That's pretty much all you really need to do on this guy. Now, if you're the type of person who likes numbers on these guys, you of course can do that. Now there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can click this little text box here, and you can just type here. I can go like this, 1, I can type here again, 2, type here again, 3, so on. So you can do the numbers that way if it's a little neater for you. And again, the tool I did that, just one more time, was this little AA box button. When you click that, it opens what you call a text box, and all you gotta do is click right where you want to put the text. You can just type the numbers in right there if it's easier for you. So once you do that, again, you got this, you got the pen icon for your dots, you can change colors here. You get a lot of cool stuff with this thing. You could all technically put them on one graph. And when you're done with it, all you've really got to do, it does allow you to make a free account on the site, so if it doesn't let you download the PDF, all you've got to do is make a free account. And once you've done that, you can basically click this little download icon right here, and you can export it as either a PDF or an image. I prefer PDF, and you can just go like regular quality. Click export PDF. Don't close your browser until we export it. If it takes too long, to sign it via email. So that's pretty cool. Once you log in, they give you that option, and boom, hey, look, download, enjoy. And guess what? Everything that I put on this guy is right here in my PDF. So if you want to share your answers with me, if you prefer not to write it and you just want to use the computer, you could totally do that. And I actually made a second video showing you how to upload PDFs and how to condense them if you do more than one activity. So basically from here on out, I'm just going to let you know what your assignment is. I'm going to upload something on two worksheets basically from math-aids.com. One of them, I want you to do writing by hand if you've got a printer, and then do the other one on this whiteboard app so you can show me that you know how it works. So you go 1 and 1. Now if you don't have access to paper or printer at home, that's totally fine. What you can do is just open up that PDF on your computer, the file that I'm attached from mathaids.com, and you can just do them both on this digital whiteboard. But basically, throughout this shutdown process, I do want to get you guys used to using some more technology and to be able to teach you how to do things and to reach out and ask me for help if you don't understand how to do the things, basically. So basically, that's going to be all we're going to learn for today. I just want you guys to really be comfortable in graphing and being able to use technology and reach out and collaborate with me. I know it's kind of it's kind of weird. We've been like out of school for like 2 weeks now, pretty much, from this whole shutdown, and it's pretty wild to think that we really don't know how long it's gonna last, and we've just got to kind of get used to this distance learning thing. So this is probably one of the longer videos I'm going to upload for you guys throughout this process. I'm going to try and keep them shorter and like tinier lessons moving forward. But for now, I figured this would just be a good intro lesson for you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I posted my office hours already on the Google Classroom, so if you guys have any questions at all, you can go ahead and I'll be available on Google Hangouts during that time, and you can just join the call. I'll post the link to the call when I actually start it up those days. And you can get like live help from me, or even if you just want to come in and say hi and like turn on your webcam and be like, hey, what's up, and you can see me face to face. If you have any questions, you can ask them. If not, just say hi, feel free. I'm also available all the time on the Google Classroom if you post your questions directly on there as posts, or you can also send me an email if you'd like to as well. So yeah, that wraps it up. I look forward to seeing you guys' submissions, and I hope you all stay safe and healthy. Take care.